Okay, today is June 14th, 2020, and today I'm going to be calling the devil. I'm going to be contacting a former CIA agent. Um, I don't know him personally. I last spoke with him July 4th of 2017. This is like right after the government attacked me. And when we talked, we spent about an hour on the phone. We had two conversations that were about an hour long. And the first, both times it was a four-way call. It was a four-way call both times. So he put another agent on the phone. And like I said, I don't know him personally. So a long time associate that I know through the military is who's connected with him, so they're they network and potentially do some business together. But when I talked to him, he knew exactly who I was, so the things that I annotated back then regarding, his insight, I made public, on my Facebook page. You can see kind of that, like I said, his insight, what he told me. He knew that I was one of the original Eves right away. And you could tell because of the innocence in my voice. You could tell because of the innocence in my voice. So he noted that I was one of the original Eves. He noted that I was a galactic commander. That was something I had to do a little bit of research on, but it got into, it was somewhat of a spiritual reference, I suppose you could call it that. But he noted, he identifies with being Abraham in the Bible. And he noted that, I'm more powerful than them, you know. So, he knew who I was, but he was not able to say anything about that. He listened and gave me insight on curling cameras, because I was talking about satellite cameras. I told him literally everything that took place in California, about them folding space and me having evidence on it on my tablets that they were stolen. We didn't talk about physics at all, but we did talk about demon possession, because that's something that I was experiencing in July already, with my mom and my ex-fiance. I'd already gone through that. And my dad and other relatives. But I didn't go into details about it. I just told him I believe about my ex-fiance and my mom. So, and he, I recorded that conversation. I recorded that conversation between us, but I told you about that iPhone 5S with the Utah number during that time, the 801-520-1125 number. They stole it, like right out of, they were physicking the fuck. They've taken 11 devices total from me now. 11 devices total. They just stole a brand new laptop. When I got a stimulus check, you can imagine that would have been one of the first things on my list. Brand new laptop right off the front porch, and smoked it up as the neighbor. That was the first device that was physically taken. Everything else was done with physics, mathematical expressions of manipulating time and space like a magic trick. So he reached out through our mutual friend in December 2019, the day before Christmas, December 24th, I got a message from Ray saying, Key, call Abraham. And I didn't, my communications have been real sketchy, and I had to ensure that I had what I needed to get by. So I just got a phone this month where the minutes are unlimited, and I can afford to make calls, and do a whole lot of check and balances and capture a lot of the stuff that's taking place as far as interruptions and interference go. What else do I need to say about background history? Something else, like what takes place when a phone is stolen, a device is stolen from me, that I have voice recorders on. They change the perceptions of those that are involved. So as long as I have a way of holding people accountable, they don't really try me. The moment that I don't have, oh my arm, they're critiquing my arm. The moment that I don't have that evidence anymore, you know, they change them to be in opposition. So right after I didn't bother getting a hold of him in December, you know, the city of Akron conspired against me. None of those things, November 2019, you know, I sent that complaint to 6 agencies. I sent that complaint to 6 agencies. So I sent it to Ray. That's like literally the last message prior to him telling me to contact him. I don't know if he read it, and I don't know if he passed it along to Abraham, but you know, about a month later after he received it, I did get a message from him telling me to contact the former agent. So what I'm going to do now is give him a call. I'm going to forewarn you, there will be cussing in this video. That's how he talks, and that's how I'll be talking today. One last thing, like my situation is pretty difficult right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to record from over there and hope it turns out okay. And back to that definition, I told you he identifies with being Abraham in the Bible, and I'm Eve in the Bible. I'm noted as the fall of mankind because I have a problem with the DNA theft. My DNA, my bloodline's DNA, is what makes non-human categories appear human. So by stealing DNA from me and my bloodline, they were able to evolve created races who had recessive genes, meaning they don't evolve at all. They can't even develop a pineal gland, which means that they cannot develop without handicap. So that's what the end time notes. It's not the end of the world. It's the end of the world as we know it. There won't be created races. In the beginning, there was only black. And that's what this is about. Like, this is all about DNA. Eugenics. Demon possession. The Matrix. Supercomputers. RFID chip implants. Alien implants. Alien activity here on Earth. Dominion and it being in the wrong hands. Physics being in the wrong hands. These are now mathematical. Physics is a mathematical expression because they were able to decode. Human cloning is another one because they were able to decode our minds, my bloodline's mind, and convert the properties into a process, mathematical expression. So, back to who he is, because I don't know what Abraham's role is, but I'm going to tell you right now. Okay, because God called him to found a new nation in an undesignated land that he later learned was Canaan. He obeyed unquestionably the commands of God. God, your gods, as you know them, as you don't know them. You know, you think of it as something supernatural, as a force that's not tangible. Your God is tangible. It's a genetic engineer. Demons, scientific scholars, genetic engineers. And the government is in place. The Constitution is in place so that they can preserve their right to make people. There's a science to making a people. The Matrix. So he later learned from whom he received repeated promises and covenant that his seed would inherit the land. You hear that? That's not happening. Dominion belongs to me. I have no business being a citizen. That's how they've been stripping us of our rights. I have no business being a citizen. And to be honest, a lot of this stuff started around 2000. Some of the more obvious things started around 2015 when I was in the process of moving forward with becoming sovereign. Matter of fact, hold on. Here it goes. I printed this out October 1st, 2015. A month later, they faked killing me. That's the drug-induced blackout that you'll see me reference in some of my older material. Like it's on Facebook and in a couple of YouTube videos. And it was on some of the flyers, like the first couple of versions of the flyers that I was passing out. You know, I annotated that. So yeah. And they turned my entire life. It didn't help that I changed my name. Me changing my name did not help this situation at all. And currently I am kind of going through the process of reverting it back. But you know how that goes. The court systems are now tied up. This bullshit coronavirus. I got so much more to say. Anyhow, I'm going to call now. I'm going to talk a little bit later about all the weight sabotage too. Probably towards the end of this video.
Reached the voicemail box of 678794219.
Hey Abraham, it's Tequila Oliver, Ray's friend. I got your message from December. You know, I just didn't have the means to call at the time. When you get a chance, give me a call back. I can be reached at 234-788-4842.
To send your message, press 1 at any time. To listen to your message, press 2. To re-record. Hey, right now, this is Tequila Oliver, Ray's friend. I got your message from December. You know, I just didn't have the means to call at the time. When you get a chance, give me a call back. I can reach you 234-788-4842. To send your message, press 1 at any time. To listen to message sent. Thank you for calling. Goodbye.
Okay. I should be 145 pounds. You've seen, or you will see, references on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter of how they're sabotaging my weight. They watch me walk for hundreds of miles. Yearly, I've averaged about almost 1,100 miles. And when you look at these numbers, they're disturbing because last year I ended up downloading the app. And it has, you know, the amount of calories that are burned, how many hours of walking that turns out to be, you know, and like I said, it's really, really, really disturbing. And the government, those surveilling me, the agents, eugenicists, they continue to invade my lymphatic system. They allow me to feel them giving me fat injections. So this right here, what you're seeing is deception. I wish I had something to stand on. So this is what they've done to my stomach. I'm going to show you the side view also. And then I'm going to show you what this looks like from the back, as far as back injections go. There's a lot of back fat. And then there's a noticeable amount, of course, on my face and, You know, that's some poor suggestions. They've been finding ways to manipulate the code. They can't permanently corrupt my code. I'm a magnetic healer. So they've been doing very, very mysterious things that the law won't recognize. So the entire point of fat injections is so that they can maintain their desired look. You know, they want me to look and feel a certain way. So there it is. Well, that's a form of human augmentation also. But I have more extreme pictures. Here, lots and lots of hair. Chemical experimentation. I'm talking about the manifestation takes place in seconds, sometimes minutes. And I actually captured this, you know. You'll see me in the middle of the night while I'm being attacked, saying that, telling you what's taking place, and then going and getting on the scale and there being a differentiation. And because I'm doing it that kind of way, what it does is it keeps them from getting out of hand like they were in 2018, you know, doing a lot of weight at once. They've broken it down to like they'll put on 2 or 3 pounds at a time, occasionally 5.